no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Proving at something takes a lot of hard work and effort. Even those who are the best in the game can't win every match, so it's their job to search for every mistake and make the most optimal plays possible. I'm no winning duelist, so on this inaugural episode of Losing at Locals, to which there will be a lot of future episodes, we are going to take a look at how to properly assess risk and watch me lose. Yay! Boom. Round 1 at CoreTCG, and I'm playing against good friend and YCS Los Angeles top 64 finisher, Ryan May. I lose the Dyro versus Drytron, so you know what that means. I tried to play, but he top-decked Imperm after I cleared his field, which dealt with all my interruptions. I was probably still losing that game anyways, yada yada yada, whatever. Next game. Game 2, my opening hand is Kashtira Theosis, Kashtira Birth, Kashtira Big Bang, Ash Blossom, and Ghost Bell. If it didn't occur to you, I just bricked. I set Big Bang and pass. May starts with Nova. There's no reason to Ash the Nova because the Drytron that he summons will be activating its effect from the graveyard. He then normal summons Diviner, seeing that if he gets to add Ben 10, the Ash Blossom will not be able to stop him from using Ben 10's effect to add Artifact Lancia to his hand, which effectively skips my turn. I Ash the Diviner, and he passes. I draw Ash, and after a little bit of trolling, leave main to battle phase. Leave battle phase to main phase too.
You have evenly set? What the fuck? No way you put that in
End of battle phase.
Yeah, you're good.
I pass turn to May. He draws. At this moment, he has 3 cards in his hand, and evidently they have to be non-engine pieces. If they were Drytrons or Rituals, he would have used Zeta's effect and attempted to further plays. Non-engine in a Drytron deck is decently tight, and a Drytron side deck has to be devoted to dealing with the Rise Heart. The full zone lock versus Drytron doesn't matter, believe it or not, and having a Macro Cosmos on the board is too difficult to play through. May's side involves cards to deal with the Rise Heart, including Dark Ruler No More and a funny Drytron-only tech that we'll get to later. Ryan May top decks Drytron Nova, which is immediately met with an Ash Blossom. Play goes back to me, I draw, and finally, a Kashtira monster. And its unicorn. Looks cool. The effect to search is met with Ash, which was perhaps a bit preemptive. I could easily be bricking on a Theosis, and if he saved his Ash for Theosis, I would just have to activate Birth and pass turn. But now there's an opening. May only has a single card in his hand, and what could it be? Since I haven't committed any monsters to the board, it could easily be a going second card. On average, post side, my opponent would have 2 going second cards alongside 4 cards of engine, just based off of, typical Drytron ratios. Normally, you are supposed to build a list of candidate cards and assess. What could it be? But I tunnel vision. During game 1, I used Triple Tactics Talons to look at his hand, and saw a Nibiru in his hand. Going into this game, I immediately assume it's Nibiru and nothing else. He could be bricking on a Dark Ruler No More, or even a Kurikara Div Incarnate. The very insightful already knows what's coming. I default into a Rise Heart and move to the battle phase to clear his board. I go to pass turn with Big Bang set and hold on to the Birth in my hand. So you have to ask, why is playing around Nibiru a misplay? See, in this game state, we are both top decking cards. If he chooses to activate Nibiru, he is still top decking for a Drytron and a Ritual. And with Kashtira Birth in my hand, if he uses Nibiru on me, I can simply use Birth to reborn the Fenrir, use it to banish his Nibiru face down, and also have Kashtira Birth on field, which, little secret gamers, is Drytron's worst nightmare. So anyways, back to the present, a Rise Heart pass. I keep Birth in hand as a bluff, and I believe that my Rise Heart and set Big Bang can hold. May top decks, and then drops the Volcanic Queen on me. Yep, me tunnel visioning into Nibiru played right into his Volcanic Queen. And to boot, he drew Cyber Emergency, which just simply ends the game on the spot. It's full Drytron combo, time to pick up the cards, and we're X1 going into round 2. So, what are the takeaways? You should always take a moment to step back and assess your options. Just because it can be something doesn't mean it's always something. Even if your opponent has your worst nightmare, ask yourself, can you simply play through it? Patrick Hoban's book, Road to the King, talks about this. Quote, people talk about making a read on a specific card, but it's useful to develop a range of cards that your opponent could potentially have. Developing this range takes knowledge of the metagame and the popular cards that it could be. I wasn't accounting for a cool Volcanic Queen tech that May had. I'd only heard him talking about it, but had never played against it. Perhaps that influenced my tunnel visioning onto Nibiru. Don't be afraid of a particular card, think of the possibilities, and you won't lose at locals like me. The weekend after I was recording this video, I topped a regional! So you can go ahead and check out the deck profile if you want to, or just hit the subscribe button. That works too. Consistent upload schedule, here we come.